Good evening and welcome back. I'm Teddy, and you are listening to Analyze This Mess tonight on December 26th, and it is 8:06. Shout out to the mob. All my other beers, I call the Grizzlies and the Honey Beers. I see my moderators, and I do see Baby Juju says, I'm on my way home. Well, be safe wherever you are tonight. Tonight is going to be, I think, interesting. Mhm. So grab your whatever you have. I see Jennifer. This one is going to be interesting. So I should stop saying that and get on with it, right? So let's see. Tonight it's called D for David Johnson. Just another alias. Because tonight isn't about proving who someone is, it's about proving who had access, who shared language, and who moved first. On July 5th, 2021, a letter went out to multiple content creators, not a live stream, not a rumor, an email with attachments, with records, with names. We call it the David Johnson letter. 1 week later, on July 12th, 2021, Danny Robertson launches her YouTube channel. In her earliest videos, the same materials from that letter appear. Same documents, same framing, same narrative. Does that tell us, or that doesn't tell me, who David Johnson is? Listen carefully. It tells me who had the letter. And tonight we're going to walk through the email exchange that followed line by line. And then we're going to do something people always forget to do. We're going to look at a clock. We're going to look at the clock. You'll understand what I mean by that, because it might surprise some of you. Oh, I hope you can hear me. Did you hear me? When I talked about, I just closed my mic. I don't know if you heard me when I began. Did you? I just opened my mic. So that's no. All right. So I was saying there's some interesting things about this. And there are some specific talking points. Did you hear me from the beginning when I said hello? All right, it doesn't it's okay. So I'm saying hello to you now. All right. So this is the David Johnson letter. This is the email that was sent to myself and several content creators and other individuals. You can see mine's was dated the same day that I'll call it the blast of David Johnson letters went out to multiple content creators. Why Cups of Conversations? She received hers. I believe was it was it June, like the 23rd or 24th? I see Cups in the chat, and good evening. She was the first one to receive this letter. Okay. And what you're looking at, it basically goes out under this name, David Johnson, to multiple vloggers. He says that plainly. This wasn't personal, this was a mass distribution. And inside the email, you can see this list. There would be allegations about identity, criminal records, and attachments that were presented as supporting material. I believe there were 11 attachments. I'm just going to read these quickly. So, the name Marley Green, David Johnson, says is an alias. Her real name is Carol Ann Sullivan or Carol Ann Green. So records can only be found in Carol Green and or Carol Sullivan. Sullivan is birth name. Sister, it gives the sister's name. All applications filed under Marley Green, including the PPP loans and Nosy Whole Live LLC trademark, are fraudulent because she uses or used an alias to apply for it. So PPP loan funds might not have been dispersed due to the wrong name entered on the application and her inability to provide valid identification with the name Marley Green. So, this is giving you a sense of what was in this email. Talks about her old Facebook as Carol Sullivan with the link to there. A warrant, wanted, all right, in Texas, PDF. Bench warrants in Louisiana. Talks about things that happen in Texas and Louisiana. All of these things about her arrest record or record. She calls it criminal record. All right. Evictions, Texas and Louisiana. Then number 9, it says, can't find a cosmetology license yet. Does she even have one? Still searching. That's important because someone else received this same David Johnson letter, and there was some communication between them, like an update on what? The next one can't find a marriage license, but then this marriage license comes up. All right. Registered business address, and then a spouse with a possible name. All right. So all of this matters because it shows organization, not like impulse. Tonight, I'm going to talk about one of the recipients, that's the word, is Tales from the Cult. Why this is important? It's because one, Tales did not ask for this information. No one that I'm aware of asked for this information, or I can speak for myself, and you will see the email exchange between David Johnson and Tales from the Cult. This is an important email because it says a lot. Mhm. Every time I look at something, I see maybe something I missed. But that's how this information pipeline, we'll call it, started. All right. Let me just show you also the attachments. I'm not going to open them up. I just want you to see the attachments that were at the bottom of the next page of the email. Let's see if I can show you those right here. So there were 11 attachments that would support all of this, those bullet points or those numbers 1 through 12. All right. For example, someone, David Johnson, pulled Truth Finder information on both Marley Green, you see the arrow there, and her partner at the time, Ashley Gray. Now, let's see this. I may have to just pause because I don't want to overlook some important either comments in the chat. Let me just read this one silently. Okay, let me continue. So again, each of these attachments contain information. You can see there was information from the courts, birth information, warrants. But what's interesting here is, again, you have a July the 5th date. 1 week later, July the 12th, Danny Robertson starts that channel. And in one of her first or earliest videos, all of these PDFs and this information, she showed it all. All right. So that meant she was one of the persons that had possession of this David Johnson letter. All right. Listen carefully. And also, I hope you can see everything. All right. If you can't, I can try, like if I do that, where I need to do that. All right. And that will probably happen when I show Tales from the Cult, because that email exchange was just just a little blurry, but not too blurry. All right. So let me go ahead. Let's throw this up again. Let me throw up a cover. Let's take down this banner. And let's see how we go through this. Why not start at the email, right? This is fair use commentary. And I'm going to break it down. Let's see here. We'll walk through it. And let me remove this. You know what? If I could. Let me see if I can pull up the chat. And that way, let me do that. Now I will put the email off to the side. So just be patient. I can pull it up real quick. Just hang on. Pull it up real quick. Just hang on. I'll try it once more, and if it doesn't work, if I don't touch it. All right, so what you saw before, so I was going through some posts, looking things up. Anyway, so we've got this David Johnson letter, and this exchange starts on July 5th. Can you see that there? All right. David Johnson says to Tales from the Cult, and also look at the time. You know what? I'll come back to the time. David Johnson says, heads up, this information was sent to you and a few other vloggers. Also, I'm working on other cases of interest right now. Tales replies, hello, I'm not sure who you are, but thanks for sending this information. I will definitely, let me see if I can just move my mic over. I will definitely look into it. And I can't read out that word. If you have any information on anyone else, it says accounts, content creators, then send it to me. All right. And it says thank you. Now, just a couple of days later, actually, I have all of it. Let's see if I can just make it larger. If I made it larger, I could read it. She says, "Hi, I know I said to send me information if you have it, but that was wrong of me. I'm not in the business of doxing anyone. So please do not send me any personal information about Nosy or anyone else." This is important, but I'm trying to. All right, so I did have these pulled out. Wait a minute. All right, so that was from July 7th. And here you can see that tells she pulls back from David Johnson. All right. She says, "I was wrong. Don't send me personal information. I'm not in the business of doxing." Oh, you can't see your, I can't see the chat. Wait a minute. Am I going to have to get rid of this chat? Yeah. So again, she says, "I don't know who you are," when he first reached out to her. Mhm. Says he has information that it went out to all these other bloggers, that he's working on other cases. So is this someone who sees himself as, you know, creating narratives, or, you know, reaching out to multiple people? What's going on here? Tell says, "I don't know who you are." This is important because this is not a friend. This is not a collaborator. Tells initially says that she'll look into it, but then people hesitate. They think better of it. She took time, she thought about it. And then 2 days later, she says, "No, I was wrong. Don't send me personal information. I'm not in the business of doxing." So, this letter that went out had all of this personal information inside of these PDFs. So, David Johnson, does it appear that he, you see, early on reached out to Tails directly with an email exchange? I didn't get this kind of um, communication from David Johnson. I just received the email. All right. But she received more. He reached out to her directly. Let's see what else he had to say to her. I think you're going to find this telling. Okay. So on the 8th of July, and now listen carefully. Let's see if I can just pull this one up. Hang on, because they're all separate pages. Have to keep doing this. I want you to be able to see this. So this came on July the 8th. David Johnson says, "No problem. I won't message you again. And I understand. However, I did see that you're doxing or unmasking the rabbit. It might be for revenge, but it's still doxing." Can we just pause on that for a moment? This is July 8th. All right. David Johnson sent out this email blast July the 5th. How does he know this alias, making comments and observations on doxing or unmasking rabbit, specifically using rabbit, all right, and targeting Tails with an email? Just think about that, all right? Next, David Johnson says, Nosy, Nosy has not done anything to me, but she is doxing and harassing innocent people and accusing them of being the avatar. So she isn't innocent. That sounds like, no, that's language that we have seen verbatim before. Let me continue. So I think you can understand the reasoning behind unmasking those who are harassing you. Nosy might be unmasked physically, but she still hides her dirt and identity while harassing, doxing others who don't have anything to do with what's going on. Their kids, family, well being, and jobs are being affected by what she is doing because people are calling and harassing them at work and at home. In her very early videos, the Surviving Nosy Whole Life, some of the very first videos, Danny Robertson talks about the exact, it's verbatim part of this. When this David Johnson talks about their kids, family, well-beings, and jobs are being affected by what she is doing. If I pulled up the Surviving Nosy Whole Life videos, you would see this language. You would also see this talk about harassing and doxing others that don't have anything to do with the situation going on at that time. Okay. Then David Johnson says, so I'll appreciate it if you keep this conversation between us. FYI, I'm not Team Monica. I am Team Innocent People and their families. Thanks, David Johnson. This last, innocent people and their families, that's a verbatim line. Just, it is. I could show you. Mhm. I didn't say, I'm just going to state what is a fact. All right. Tales says to David Johnson the same day, hello, I repented for what I did. And no, I did not dox her. She's referring to Rabbit. Okay. I did not give out her full name, address, background, family name, school she went to, etc., nor did I send information to other bloggers as a way to avenge myself. That's interesting. I simply showed an Instagram page of what I found and a picture of who I thought she was. I also showed her, what is it? I also showed her doxing post so that everyone is aware. It may not be her real face. I said, I believe it is her. Instead of pointing out my actions and flaws to make yourself look better, you will have to take account of your own actions with God. What you are doing is wrong, and you sent this to me out of nowhere. The Lord said, vengeance is his, not ours. And now I have that understanding. Peace. Okay. Let me just show you what the response is. Hang on. All right, you can see here at the bottom. Let me just remove that banner. Sorry for this, but I'm doing the best I can. David Johnson says, no. Publishing information that you believe to be her is doxing her or someone else. That's what unmasking someone is, revealing their true identity. I pointed out your inconsistency because you asked me to send you more information and you are guilty of the same thing. So reserve your judgment of others. He without sin cast the first stone. I have no remorse, and I don't need anyone to make me feel better or need anyone's approval. Goodbye. I need to pause and just look at your comments on that one. Let's see. Amen. Amen tells. Yeah. What is this? Jennifer says, Rabbit has also said previously she was not Team Monica. Mhm. Now, Wait a minute. Let me remove my banner so you can see it. I said I wanted you to look at a clock, a time. What do you see? Can you make that out? So we're looking at the same day, July 5th, 2021. Vicky says 10:30 a.m. All right. Look at both of them. I can tell you what the other one says. Can you make it out? While you're doing that, I'm going to call this segment or this part of it. Let's look at the clock, or let's look at the time. Because that is a clock, isn't it? It's the time. Because right now we're doing the part that people skip or that I didn't pay attention to. Let me look at the chat and see if anyone else. All right. So one is 10:28 a.m. The other is 10:30 a.m. I'm just, it's going to hit you. It's going to hit you. One is 10:28 a.m. The other one that comes 2 minutes later is 10:30 a.m. It's going to hit you. It's going to hit you. It hit me. The time zone, Las Vegas and California are Pacific time. When it's 10:30 in California, it's 10:30 in Vegas. There are only 4, geographies that have Pacific time states. That's California, Nevada, Oregon, and Washington. Now, let's overlay some known facts. These are just facts. Should I put up my fireplace? Oh, there's so much to this. So much more. We'll just leave that up. These are some known facts because my channels have been taken down multiple times and I've had different aliases, different addresses, different things. Mhm. All assigned to aliases. This is aliases, right? A D for David Johnson, just another alias. Well, Danny Robertson has a registered agent in Oregon that has appeared on, documents that I've received. hmm Danny Robertson filed a lawsuit against Maggie in Los Angeles, and someone physically walked it into the courthouse. Someone. We're just talking about facts. That's it. Mhm. There's something else that's tied to California. David Johnson is tied to someone in California who, during this same time, July the 5th and the 6th, that letters went out. She has, Jennifer, she has multiple registered agents. Listen carefully. A registered agent, people can pick those. There's a Wyoming now. There was a previously, yes, a Delaware. Mhm. But recently, I've seen this Oregon one be used. I'm just saying there's 4 states with the Pacific Standard Time. There's millions of people, but we're talking about geography, we're talking about, time zone. That's interesting that I've never looked at that. And I said, wow, that's right here in front of us on this email. There's a lot of things going on in California. What time did you receive your email, Teddy? Oh, you see, I can answer that, but this is an email conversation. They're going back and forth. Mhm, mhm. Like kind of real time. Let's see. Let me look at my email. Let's see. Let's see. By the way, I'm just going to throw something up for. I don't know if this is for laughter or whatever you want to say. But when Tales was, you know, broadcasting on her live, and she was talking about um, Danielle and talking about Black Rabbit. This was, how people, post things. Well, this was someone that posts. It's a licensed private investigator. Someone put up a badge and called it the YouTube Co-Intel Pro. That stands for something, but I'll just remove that real quick. Yeah. Let's see what time. I'm just putting up things that are interesting right now. Remember, David Johnson is anonymous. He's an alias, like any other anonymous, right? There's a couple of more things I can just throw up. But let me finish with this one. Let me look up. I'm trying to find, because I took down mine's. Let's see. Mine's was at 3 p.m. Let's see. Wait a minute. Mine's was July 5th at 3:20 p.m. Mhm. Whether or not they all went out at the same time, I don't know that, but mine's was at 3:20 in the afternoon. Okay. Now, let's go back to something else. Hang on. Sorry, I have to keep doing this. This was an interesting observation someone made about the David Johnson letter. Okay. Show you this. All right. Remember the portion that I read? It says no. Publishing information, talking at the end. Well, it was right here. Pay attention to this part. So reserve your judgment of others. All right. In a transcript on Danielle's channel, she talks about your judgment of others. Your judgment of others. Same kind of, it's not the same kind, it's exact phrasing. So reserve your judgment of others. Talking about Tales from the Cult. I called you a flip-flopper. It was about your judgment of others. There are numerous examples where David Johnson's language is it mirrors Danny Robertson's language. I just said it mirrors. It's precisely. What does that mean? I'll just say the language mirrors. Okay, let's show you something else. See if we can bring up another one, another example. That was pointed out. Just take a look at this. Just beginning of the sentence, no, comma, and then this one comes from, and I know where this one comes from, a broadcast, a video. At the bottom, Danny Robertson's video. No, don't bring God into your mess. You are clearly of the devil. It's interesting how you target church-going women with so much venom. Pure evil. Rebuke Satan's witch. Now, I told you that rebuke Satan's witch was on one of the avatars, right? Where else did we find that? By the way. Anyway, this contrasts David Johnson, Danny Robertson's language. Hang on. Does anyone remember where I pointed out the rebuke Satan's witch? So, if I'm in the same time zone as someone Eastern Standard Time, it's going to be the same time zone, right? I'm just saying, just make a note of certain things. If that means anything, I don't know. Jennifer says, if you send an email from Central Standard Time and you are in Pacific Standard Time, when you receive it, it will show Pacific Standard Time in the origination and not my origination time in Central Standard Time. There's something else. There's something else there too. But let me continue with this David Johnson. That was kind of like a little break, little surprise in there that I hadn't noticed. Let's continue. So again, I just have some questions. How did the same materials from the July 5th letter appear in the Danny's earliest videos, and why? Let's see, I can ask this. Why does the same kind of language appear before the channel launches? Because that's why I say look at dates before the channel launches. David Johnson is using language We only hear from this David Johnson one time, right? In this email. But the language that's used appears after the channel is launched. Same language. Just a question. Why? Let's go back to that. Why is the quote unquote, the shorthand, I'll call it rabbit, which is the name that's used like a short name? Why is that used as assumed shorthand in David Johnson's letter? Rabbit. Why not the channel name? It's just, maybe it's too long. And we've been looking at the time. Why does the activity line up with Pacific time states? And there's some type of connection there. I'm not answering those questions. I don't need to. Because I said this is about access, more than about a name, right? It's about continuity. It's about continuity or patterns of language, continuity or patterns of materials, continuity of timing, continuity of geography. Because names can change. Email addresses can change. Proximity, that can change, and registered agents, they can change, right? But patterns don't bother pretending. If you look at things over, you have to take like a larger sampling and look at patterns. It's not about, even tonight, proving who someone is. It's about showing how groundwork was laid before the audience ever saw the stage. And once you see that, you don't need a confession. I mean, the timeline is already spoken, There's things in these videos that we've overlooked. Things that I see later that I didn't realize. And it's not them individually, all right? It's when you put them together, put a lot of things together, that the picture, it gets clear. If that makes sense. Let's see. Cups of Conversation, who has experience with this David Johnson letter, was the first to receive the letter, says. Raquel said herself, YouTubers was getting the information out. Which two YouTubers were brought up before shaking an iron troll? Think. I don't have to say the names. And then how did well Raquel was we've learned later learned she said she was the family spokesperson for the Tolbert, you know, Miss Tolbert. Well, she's cousins. Yeah. And that's a California connection, right? Yeah, that's not hidden information. hmm Um, when I see when I see PJ, you know what I think about? Peanut butter and jelly for some reason. Yeah. The CEOs of the troll farm, LOL. Um, now you're just, some of you might have a better guess than I do because I said I'm not here uh, guessing anything. I'm just presenting information right now. hmm And like, hmm, there's a lot more that could be presented about David Johnson. Yeah. If you look at the email exchanges, that cups that you have, um, inside of those, there's some information that you could probably share. I've shared it before, but um, you know, for people who are new, this might be, a lot. But for those of us who have followed it, it really makes a lot of sense now. Yeah. Nosy didn't speak on Rabbit until after that forced interview, and she didn't speak on Iron Troll until she kept tagging her and sending her emails. Mhm. You're talking about Iron Troll. Iron Troll uh, did send, kind of like a warning through what a tweet to Nosy Hole Live and others, mhm, saying enjoy your channel while it lasts. There were other things too. Mhm. They made videos about, about Monica, about what was going on. And who was the mentee of the plainest Jane? Hmm. Yes, it was Rabbit, who got caught using multiple troll names. It was Rabbit. I don't know how Rabbit, I say Black Rabbit, um, met plainest Jane through the internet or whatever. I don't know how that came about, even with me, even with having talked to them. I really, maybe I just didn't even care about that, or I can't remember. Mhm. More questions. When Trees played Rabbits, slipping up and using the voice changer, it sounded a lot like one of the Iron Troll characters. There was a voice box used early on, mhm, by several people, at least two people. Mhm. Yeah. I didn't. Joanne says Rabbit got busted by Tails. Um, Tails, you're not talking about doxing. You're not talking because Tells said she didn't dox her. Yeah. In that email. Let's see. Let's see what we can find out. I'm talking about these comments. Cups of conversations. Yep, just like the others, use fake illnesses when it gets. Let's see. The first DR video, Juju says, reminds me of Iron Troll for some reason. Okay. I just say, again, kind of the same things I've said before. It's interesting how all of these people ended up on the same page, basically, at some point. One common goal. Yeah, there were several. Let's see. And remember, it was Iron Troll who said they solved the mystery of the Avatar way before this. Oh, yes. And there was a video, one of the surviving videos, that said Nosy Whole Life had that information of who the Avatar was. Kenya. You remember that one? And Tells was right and they were wrong. But notice this was before, July 5th, before Danny Robertson came to this platform. David Johnson was aware, focused in on, honing in on, and could say to Tells, like kind of like real time, you're doxing Rabbit. So David Johnson is following, making detailed observation and knowing who to send the emails to, the content creators in this sector. That's interesting. Right? What is this about? Iron Troll also, again, these are fair use commentary, your opinions. Iron Troll also told Rabbit that they were sending nosy fake information. And yes, you can email me at unwinewithteddy@gmail.com. The David Johnson letter. Joanne reminds me of the high school clique mentality, girls' club, immaturity at its finest. It's like the beginning of this. People behind the scenes, mask people or anonymous people working in cohort, or part of a cohort. Yeah. And yes, thanks Bush babies for joining me. It's almost 9:30. I came on early. Sorry about the covers. I need to do that because sometimes I have information up and I've, inadvertently something might get shown that I don't want to. Yeah. What else can I say about this? A lot, but we can only take so much of it in one night. At least I can, right? So it's the holidays, and wouldn't it be great if I could just show you, the videos that go with all of this? And that would just make it so much easier for me. Yeah. But well, we know what that would take, and I don't want to risk it. Not on this channel. No. Any other comments? Let's see. I know. Please be mindful of certain names and what you put in the chat. Joanne says, I know one thing for sure. What? Everything will come to its end in 2026. There's no way possible that it will continue. Everything has a beginning and an end. So that part is true. When it will come to an end, I don't know, but it will. It will. More will be revealed in 2026. Yeah. It's inevitable, that things have to come to a conclusion. Let's see. Remember when we used to use abbreviations and hear her couldn't figure them out? I remember you telling that story. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, LaDonna, for the gifted 5 Unwind with Teddy memberships. Yeah, it comes full circle. The truth always prevails. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I'm kind of crisscrossing these as I'm reading up and down the chat. So that's why you hear these long pauses. Let's see. Most of people are in the bushes. One of, okay. There's just so much information out there. And yeah, that makes sense. And thank you again for gifting the memberships. Appreciate that. Let me go ahead and check my email and put on some jazz just for a moment. All right. Thank you for sending the email and support to this channel. I appreciate you, all of you who joined me tonight. Yeah. We're at the final laps. Mhm. Is that the way you look at it? Yeah. You know, when we look back at this, and there will be a moment at some point when hindsight is going to be 2020. Yeah. But going through it and thinking like, why didn't I see that? It was there all along. Mhm. I hope we're in the final lap. I don't well, it depends on how long that lap is. Yeah, right. Because there've been a lot of laps. Let me finish reading. Yeah. We are at the final lap. There's about a quarter of a mile left before the race is over. This has been a lifetime movie. Cheap, but yet so emotionally prevalent. A soap opera akin to days of our lives. Do you think at the end of the lap, at the end of this, wow, there's so many questions I could ask. Do you think that things will continue the way they are? Or do you think it will be so earth shattering that it will be nothing will ever be the same? Kind of like a spinoff or something. Mhm. I think, I think nothing will ever be the same. That's just me. I don't know. A lot of people you think will feel like fools. I wonder will there be any regrets? And that kind of goes with feel like fools. Regrets. Mhm. It's like there's lessons in this. Don't know what the exact lesson, but when we're done, we will know what the lesson is. Well, I've already learning some lessons, but be able to step back, survive this. Mm. Oh my goodness, it'll be for me. It'll be life will never be the same. It'll be different. I know it will be. Mhm. For me, absolutely. Yes, resolution. Yes. Yes, I'm just hoping that this isn't going to end with a void. I don't even want to think about that. You think they'll just move into different spaces, do the same things? Hmm, I don't know. You throwing eggs? They will try, but if the veil is lifted, it will never be the same. People will see clearly because patterns don't change. You're humans. There are just things that are um, patterns and things that are characteristic of individuals, and those things are ingrained. Yeah. Jennifer says, yep, to cups. You think that will happen? Hmm. One of the biggest lessons I've learned is karma doesn't miss. It's not always on time, but it don't miss. You reap what you sow. Let's see. Joanne says, I can't see this trickling down to another year. It's over. It's a wrap. You think in a few more weeks. Jen, that's so true. There are people who are fully indoctrinated. So they will continue to help them and just move to a different area. I believe this happened for a reason. Of course, I do too. I do. Patterns are who we are. Cups, facts, it never misses. Karma. And although it sucks for people who did nothing wrong, we are chosen ones. God puts us in this for a reason. You don't get back your time. Yeah. Learning reasons. There are so many sectors on YouTube, and harassment goes on in many of them. They will move on to the next. Jennifer. Joanne seems to think no more legal derailment. It's madness. Jennifer agrees with you. I feel like the judge has had enough. Let's see. Annette, hey, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. Many are called, few are chosen. This is this is an interesting time, and it's difficult also too. And I absolutely want conclusion. I do. Injustice and to be heard. I want this to move forward. And yeah, it's still a lot of work ahead of us, believe it or not. Don't know how long, but whatever the time is going to involve work. And then, in case you didn't know, one of the last um, filings, let's see this one before. Oh my goodness, I have to look. But they want to appeal, like move this, asking for an appeal, already to pause, this case and let them go to an appeal. Do you know how long that would delay the case? It could be years. A pause. Oh no. Please no. They don't want us to come together. They need to keep us apart. You can only play so long before the judge pins the tail on the donkey. We'll be, let's see, well, we've been here and we are still standing, waiting for justice for all of those affected. Yes, I know, Jennifer. I just. Unwind with Teddy, I personally wouldn't have had the time or the patience to do what you've done. So thank you. It's, yeah, thank you for the comment. It's not been easy at all. Not getting any younger. None of us are. How pleasant it is when brothers are in unity. It's like pouring oil down Aaron's beard and down his robe. Blessings and power in unity. This is Friday. It's like, where does the time go? Amen. More comments. They were hoping, Teddy, nor anyone would have had the time. They are used to dealing with lazy that lie down and take any abuse from them. This is definitely taking time. Hmm. I know I've added at least one gray strand on either side. Yes, at least. Speaking of grays, you guys have seen uh, President Obama? Yeah, they've all grayed. Going through the White House and coming out of it. I I'm surprised it's not all white. Let's see. Guarantee you that it will be over. Now wait a minute. You think January? You're talking about that part of it. And she can only try and file another motion. Yeah, well. And thanks. Tanika Gaines says, thanks for the gifted memberships. I stay in the bushes. Well, no, sometimes you come out, but glad to see your member, Tanika. Obama may have some more gray hair, but he still look good. Yeah, he's gonna always look good, gray hair or not. You have some gray. Well, welcome to the gray. Basically have grays on either side of my sideburns, edges. That's that part, not my edges, but that side, which is I kind of like the gray streak. I do. I do like the gray streaks. Yeah. You say gray shows aging, but it also shows wisdom. Um, I know some people who have gray, they don't want the gray, so they go all like white, which is beautiful too. Um, but I've never dyed my hair, and I don't know. I love a gray beard on a man. I think it's great. Um, you only have gray in your beard. and you're bald and with a gray beard. I think that's just fine. What's wrong with that? Let's see. Oh my God. Me too. Let's see. Tanika says, I'm too controversial. Really? Miss Teddy, and you are smooth. I respect you. No disrespect to anybody else. I don't know that about you. All right. Gray is nice. It is. I agree. I agree. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go to 10 o'clock. We have a few more minutes. My mom, Jennifer says, stopped coloring her hair a few years ago and it went totally silver. People compliment her on it all the time. I'm sure it's beautiful. I do. I love the gray on either side. It's like I do. Yeah, well, we know people are in the bushes. Happy Duckery Friday. Holidays. Happy holidays, real talk. It's gorgeous. You know, um, Cup says, I'm going to blow. All right, so if you blow out your gray hair is different than it's it's more well depending, it just behaves different. Yeah, it's gray. Now some people have beautiful, beautiful gray hair they can tame. I do like my gray hair though. Why? You don't want to leave yet? Well, we don't have to leave. You want music? For those, I have to be cognizant of, my moderators and everybody, right? I did come on early. Yeah. You don't want to dye your hair because they said that will bring more gray in. Now I have used the shampoos only a couple of times, not for graying, but if you have grays, you can it's supposed to brighten the gray hair. No dyes. It's just I can't even tell you which one it is. It's the purple shampoo. Um, yeah, pretty much. Most some brands have that. Yeah, you actually love. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. You mean even when it's just quiet and slow? Okay. Let's continue to take her what is this pound 10? Joanne says I got Jerry curls. Oh, they better not. You mean come into the channel? Yeah, most people, most women, and some men even dye their hair. But a lot of women, yeah, they spend a lot of money. because once you start dyeing it, I guess cover your grays. Yeah, the roots there. Yeah. Well, if you have a request, you can put it in now and I can play it, or we can just keep talking. Let's see. Jennifer, see, I'm trying to stay nice. Um, if they get popped for being in the bushes, they might. How did I know you were going to say? Well, they're clearing the deck soon because they don't want to get popped. Oh, been on the watch out for Toto. He's about to pull the curtains. Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, it's kind of my upper limit is, I think, is like 2 hours, and I'm not far away from it. No. Yeah, but it's nice to hang out because, well, it's the holidays, and some people are up all night. But the problem with that is we pay for it the next day. And today I didn't drink much coffee. Mm. Yeah, I usually just have 1 cup in the morning, but I've because I put like those sweeteners in it. I am trying to get away from it a little bit. Yeah. So yesterday, this is probably worse, but maybe not. I had a tall cup of hot chocolate on Christmas morning. I did, with whipped cream, marshmallows. I did. You try to be on your best behavior, but I'm not always good at it. Teddy knows that. I do. Um, we love you over here, Jennifer. We do. Let's see. Oh, she said they're gonna get blocked by her if they fall out of the bushes. If you know, yeah, I know you love coffee. Um, she just, I know, she's gonna block them. Well, if they want to come over there, they just need to put on a different, don't they have like 2 channels? Try that one. She has lots of channels, and I'm sure she roams hidden behind a different avatar. I know. We'll get there, Joanne. I can't wait until January. Well, something's going to happen in January. Just don't know what it's going to be. Ooh, gosh. I mean, Monday, Tuesday, I think the courts are open. I'm not expecting a lot. And I can tell you this, the last thing that came in 123, I can refile but I'm not prepared at this moment. I can tell you, I'm working on something, but I'm not going to be ready by Monday. No, because it's the holidays and I haven't been working on it. So, yeah. And the courts are going to be closed next week, most of the week. Anyway, I can't believe. I mean, we're really looking at there are only 5 more days in this year. Wow. Breakthrough is coming, right? A breakthrough. It's coming, right? How are you going to tell a grown person where they can go and can't go on YouTube? Yeah, the punishment. Oh, thank you. I will get that on for you. Mahalia Jackson. Oh, Holy Night. Yeah, we can. Let's find that. Got our Christmas tree up still. To, see you back in the bear cave. Whatever you do, just enjoy your friends and your loved ones too. Let's see if I can play just any Christmas favorite. I don't know what's going to come up next. It's montage. So that's going to do it for me. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Teddy. Good night.
It's Christmas time, and we're filling the air with a holiday spirit. The sounds of the season, all season long. Happy holiday. Christmas class.